Good morning. God bless you all in Jesus' name. It is Thursday, the 14th of October 2021, and it is 2:35 a.m. Aussie time. And I'd like to share with you an experience I had. I think it was around 2004, 2005. I was living in Sydney at the time, and as you know, I was using a lot of drugs. And one night I was out and I was in a place where I shouldn't have been, and I was attacked from behind by a psychopath. This man come up behind me and hit me in the side of the head. He tried to drop me, but I fought back. He kept going for my face, and his blows were very, very hard. And he kept punching me full force in the face, in the head, and one of his hits landed right on my chin, and it was so hard that my bottom teeth went through the bottom of my lip. If you've seen me in my videos, you will notice that I have a scar under my bottom lip. That scar is the result of what happened to me that night. Anyway, excuse me, I'm really sorry if I sound like I'm smacking my lips, or if my voice is weird, but I have been so dehydrated the last few weeks, and I've been unwell. I've been taking a lot of Hydrolyte, drinking liters of water, excuse me, every day, but it's not really helping, so please keep me in your prayers with this little issue. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, this guy just kept punching me, and it was like he wanted me to go to the ground. Like he just wanted to knock me down to the ground, but I fought with all my strength not to go down. Something in my heart told me, if I fall to the ground, this guy's going to kick me to death or stomp me. So I fought to stand up, and I kept trying to cover my face. Anyway, he beat me so bad, and then he ran to his car. I saw him run to his car, and I truly thought that he was running to his car to go get a knife to come back and stab me to death. But he ended up jumping in his car and he took off. And at the time, I didn't have a phone. I sold my phone for drugs, so I didn't have a phone to call an ambulance or police or anyone for help. So I staggered with blood all over my face, all over my neck, all over my chest and my hands. I staggered and made it to a main road. And I was desperately trying to wave down a car so they could call an ambulance for me. So many cars went by and would not stop. Nobody helped me. It was very late at night. There was nothing open. There was no one around, no one on the streets. And I was so desperate that I ended up standing in the middle of this main road, and this big truck was approaching me, and I would not get off that road until he stopped. And the truck driver actually stopped And he got out and he was horrified when he saw my face. And he said to me, "Love, just stay there, I'm calling an ambulance right now." So he dialed 000, and within minutes an ambulance showed up. And I remember one of the ambulance officers saying that I looked like I had a gunshot wound to my face. That's how bad my face was. Anyway, they took me to Bankstown Hospital. Now I'm going to tell you a little story about Bankstown Hospital. I have read many articles that there's underground tunnels that lead from the military base in Holsworthy all the way to Bankstown Hospital. And those tunnels are very, very old. Anyway, I get taken into emergency, and there's this young Asian doctor, and I don't know why, but he just seemed very disgusted in me. Like I was a lowlife, like I was a nobody. And they needed to do surgery to close up this big gaping hole in my face. And because all my veins, arms, legs, wrists, were all damaged because I was using, they could not find a vein to put a cannula in. They just couldn't. So he said, "We're going to put in a central line in my neck." And I said, "No, you're not touching my neck." I was terrified of having something put in my neck. And he said, "We have to." And I'll tell you what, it's really painful when they try and put a needle in your neck. So he gives me a little injection to numb the area. And then he tries to put the needle in, but he kept hitting nerves. He kept missing. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose. I mean, this guy's a doctor. And I was screaming in pain. And I kicked him. I kicked him so hard that he said the F word at me and left the room. He didn't want to deal with me. So another doctor came in and ended up putting the cannula in a surface vein in my thigh. And I passed out because they're going to operate on me. And this is what happened. This is a weird experience. I truly felt that this was not a dream. This was like an out-of-body experience or some kind of experiment. It was real. Now, in this experience, I was laying like on a slab, and it looked like I was in a small room, like a lab type room. And there was all like these silver benches all around this small room. And there was a man in a white lab coat. He had his back to me. I could not see his face, and he did not speak to me. He had his back to me, and he was to my right. He was probably about a meter away from me, and it looked like he was doing something on the bench there. Like he had some instruments that he was preparing to do something. And I heard something in my head. It was like an audible voice in my head. It's saying, "You've just died, and this is where you come to get processed." Those exact words. "You've just died, and this is where you come to get processed. And I truly believe that I just died. And one thing, I had no thoughts of God, no thoughts of Jesus, nothing, no thoughts of my life. It was like I was completely separated from God. There was no thoughts about Him. There was no thoughts about heaven, no thoughts about hell. It was like I just accepted it. Like I just accepted it, and I was just going along with it. There was no thoughts of joy, no thoughts of fear, nothing. It was very strange. But now I know it was all a deception. That's a lie. Because when you die, you go to one or two places, heaven or hell. There's no in between. You don't get processed. But this was what I experienced. And then, after I heard those words, I was just laying there, just waiting for whatever was going to come next. And then I felt my soul fall from the ceiling of the hospital bed where I was in the ward after the surgery. I physically felt myself fall down back into my body with a great thump, like my legs jumped really hard, like I fell back into my body. And as that happened, I opened my eyes and there was a nurse standing there staring at me. Weird. She didn't say anything. She didn't do anything. And I looked straight at her. And I said, "Excuse me, did something happen to me during surgery?" I don't even know why I said that, but I just said that. And she said nothing, and she quickly walked out. That was weird, like really, really weird. Now, I don't know if that was some kind of astral projection thing or if I had a very strange experience, or if they done an experiment on me, if they were conducting experiments there. And that was one of them. Because I tell you, I've had a lot of weird things done to me. Yeah, I should do videos on them. So yeah, please let me know what you think about that. If you've ever had an experience like that in a hospital, if you've had an experiment done on you, or if you know anyone it's happened to. So I'm telling you, I've had a lot of crazy stuff done to me. And I should do videos on them, I reckon. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. God bless you all in Jesus' name.